We need guidance, we need instruction, and we need a firm hand. And we might just want to take that firm hand from somebody who has the thing that we want and be able to seek and find and follow their path. We are, as a species, extraordinarily social. And from cave days to today, we bind together. It is our strongest ability. I'm actually reading a book right now by a historian that talks about how the reason why humans rose to the prominence that we have on this world is because of our ability to socially gather together in groups, large and small, and be able to guide and follow one another, and to follow common themes, common stories, and things like that. So, and believe me when I say, to this day, I have coaches of my own, because I can't hope to both have my own place in this world and in my business, and continue to maintain it with competition and other factors and environment or whatever that may change, and also to go up, to go chase my next dream. And so, in fact, I was here not at this place, but at the airport last night at 11:30 when my plane landed from California. Katina knows I wasn't here for last night's function, because I was with one of my coaches, and I was there taking notes, being a student for 2 straight days. And I put myself in the position of student all the time, frequently in my life, because I will never stop learning. My mom was a fan of that. She understood something she said constantly, which is that knowledge is power. And what I will tell you as a great mentor for you, or if you're going to be a mentor for someone else, is that your knowledge, or the knowledge you seek from them, is genuine power to affect change if it is used in the right way, and if it allows you to give that to someone else. Thank you. It's funny because my son just walked past the doorway. He's sitting at a booth of a company that I launched, another company that I launched earlier this year. And he's a brilliant young man, just got double bachelor's degrees, so I'm so proud of him. But I was telling him, kid, use your superpowers for good. You did not get this brain from grandma and from me to you to use it for anything but good for other people. And that is something I've been saying to him for a very long time, because he's so smart and so good socially. So let's move on to how have you grown personally and professionally over the past 4 years? Can you just give us a snapshot and a timeline, Daisy, of what you were earning, how your life was going, then what happened, you obtained your real estate license, how did that go, and then how have things gone for you in the last year or two with your goals?
Yeah, so everything, my whole life has changed dramatically. Income-wise, the way my kids look at me, the way my husband is, everything pretty much, being from a stay-at-home mom to being like the sole breadwinner at home and helping with all the challenges that comes with, my husband and then kids and everything, it's definitely changed, but my confidence is definitely there, something that wasn't there before. I know that I can help people, and that helps me, it makes me really happy. Ever since I was younger, I wanted to be able to help people in some way, and I didn't know real estate, connecting and building friends like Tina and everything, and everybody else I've been able to help, for long term would be something that I would definitely fill my cup all the time. I don't think real estate is just about sales, it's literally about also helping people, create a dream more than anything. I remember when Heather handed over the keys to the rent that we were getting, and how that felt. So I could just imagine what it would feel like to receive a key to a house and help people get there, with as far as their finances or whatever it looks like, help people get there, and being able to tell my kids like, hey, help another family. It's a true accomplishment.
You actually helped a lot of people in your own family and community, and you mentioned the other day how earning their respect was really big in that large family of yours. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so a lot of my family has never bought a house before, because they're always kind of like, we don't buy houses, we save all our money under the mattress, we don't trust banks, we don't get credit cards, we don't do none of that kind of stuff, And that's something I grew up believing as well, like, okay, we don't get credit cards, we don't do any of that stuff, But come to find out, I mean, if you want to grow a little bit more, then probably we should kind of drift gears a little bit from that, you know? So, you know, being able to then kind of educate them what Heather has educated me with, you know, seeing her success and wanting to kind of follow that success as well, has definitely been able for myself to teach them. You know, there's more out there, you know, if you're curious, I'll help you, you know, and actually pretty much all of my family, cousins, uncles, aunts have all bought a house already.
I just have to say, as a female, you know, we've had these discussions over the years. As a female, largely stay-at-home mom, went from young person to mom of 3 to staying at home with an injured husband, driving Uber Eats and DoorDash at all hours of the night instead of being able to see her daughters after school so that she could bring home enough money for them to eat by through a living, and literally not have any sort of expectation or position of real respect inside not only her family as a whole, but even her own little mini household. She did not hold much power. And so the empowerment, if she was concerned, how do you get your daughters to commence to go to college or do something bigger with their life when, you know, you're driving Uber Eats, and I know you felt that at the time. But the other thing is that her family had very little expectation of her, because she was in a historic Latino background where literally the mom is the caretaker, the person at home, that kind of thing. And Daisy hardly had time to be or do anything else for her own development. So she literally changed in one generation, in you, Daisy.
Wow.
You
Amen.
completely changed how women are thought of and where you fit in and your extended family. And I can say from a mentorship perspective that we are not the ones who do the work. If a mentor does their job right, the person that they mentor, that mentee, they are the ones who are going to have to roll up their sleeves and do the work. But if you inspire them, if you show them a vision and you paint the picture and you give them the how and the plan and the accountability to say, what did you do this week? What did you do next week? What is your vision for this year? If you give them all of that, they have the capacity to do the work, and all of it, Daisy, is you. And this is what makes me so extraordinarily proud, and what warms my heart so much about mentorship. You said something at one point as well about, I had a rental house, and you said, you know what, you wanted to learn to do that. And on top of that, you historically changed this concept of home ownership. You have changed the retirement nest egg of multiple members of your family, of your friends. They now literally have a pot to, you know what, in when they're older. And there is no more profound thing that a human being can do in our society than own their own roof. Because what I'll say to people, and I'm extremely passionate about this, is that you are always buying a house. You are buying a house. You're just either buying it for you or you're buying it for your landlord. And while I love and appreciate all the people who rent from me in the 12 or 15 or whatever, I can't keep count rentals that I have.
Okay.
I cannot stand for them, I'll take that, I cannot stand for them to live there very long, because I do not like that someone is buying me a piece of property rather than themselves. I can always go find another great renter, but I want to teach them property ownership. So long before I was a realtor, thank you, I was teaching and picking out people in Texas where I used to live to say, please go get yourself qualified, please talk to this lady over here, you've got to figure this out, because it's not fair to you that you have not, that you're putting the biggest amount of money, the biggest expense you have every month towards someone else's lifelong investment and not your own. And yes, by the way, Daisy can teach you guys both how to have that, how to do that for yourselves, how to enter that, maybe with no down payment or whatever, but she can also teach you how to then get rentals or run those or whatever it is. She knows how to do that. current team position as team lead and tell the crowd what that means to you now to be leading and mentoring your own set of mentees?
Yeah, so it's an honor more than anything to be able to help people do what she once did for me as well. So I have a group of about, I don't know, a few young women as well, a lot of them moms too, you know, and when they come and they're like, you know, I want to change my life, it's like it's on. If you yeah, if you see it within yourself and you want to do it, you know, I'm here to help you. I will guide you. I will do everything that pretty much Heather did for myself. I will help you too, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I had this young mom. She came in and she's just like, hey, you know, like my kids asked me like, hey mom, when are we gonna stop being broke? You know, and she's just like, I want to break that. I want to do something different for them. And within her, I saw myself too, you know, and the fact that she's just like, I'm ready to do whatever I have to do to make that change, and for my kids to not feel that we can't go to the store just to get the necessities, but that I can probably just buy them something that is not a necessity as well. So honestly, it's amazing. It's a really great feeling to be able to help people, mentor people as well, and pour into other people's cups and change their lives too, because you know, it all takes work. She poured in so much into me, and I'm now thankfully able to do the same for other people.
Along the way, Mansy has also, you know, every year, so 4 years ago, she and I met. Within that first year, she had changed her GED, a 10-year, you know, gap in something that she really almost, she thought would never occur. And she was able to obtain that GED. She was also then able to go on and obtain her real estate license. Another big thing was some fear exams and some fear of math and whatever that we were able to, a hurdle that we were able to get her through. And then went on, obviously, to become a successful salesperson, and within a year or so begin changing the lives of the people immediately in her world. But along the way, she's also made a team lead. 2 years ago, she started helping and mentoring people on my team. And then, because again, I believe in empowering others. So if my world is not big enough for someone, they will not be able to continue dreaming. And the last thing I ever want in life is to have someone stop dreaming because they're in my world and they need to stay small to be able to fill that position or that opportunity or that thing which they now have. When people get really good at something and they get inspired by inspiration, by goal setting, by achieving greater things, they want to keep moving up. And I think that this is one of the most incredible things about humans. So me as an employer, as a boss, I need to keep creating bigger, greater opportunities. And I realized that a few years ago with Daisy and 3 others who were my agents. I said, you know what? These people are incredible, and I've raised them up inside this field, and I need to create better opportunities for them. So that is how I created the team lead contingent. And it's exactly what Daisy expressed. She gets to be the cheerleader and the person who's inspiring and mentoring those people under her. But so what happened as well is you won a couple of awards along the way. Last December, you won an award of note. Can you tell everyone what that was?
Yeah. So I went from making, I think, the most I remember making ever before I had my kids was maybe like $15,000 in a year. Yep. And then this last year, I broke a 6-figure income.
Can you please share with the crowd what your January 2025 goal is for this year?
180.
180,000 is her stated goal. Can you tell them when, have you already surpassed your earnings for last year?
Oh, yes.
Like I said, little girls go home, so
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, you know, but it's very rewarding. It's so rewarding because at the end of the day, you know, it's like I'm helping my family. I'm helping a lot of people along the way, and they're not just transactions to me. They're literally true friends, you know. I literally remain friends with all the people I help pretty much, you know. So it's all so rewarding in the end. And my kids see that as like, oh mom, you know, like you have more friends, you know, and all these different things, you know. So everything is wholeheartedly more than anything too, you know. Their kids see their parents doing different transactions, like, you know, something different too. So it's all very a true blessing. You know, God has opened a door for me, and you know, I dove right in.
Come on.
One of the things also as an employer or a mentor is you have to also look at the whole person. So if all I did was serve Daisy's, mind and her ability to have income and her career, that would already, as you're hearing, be pretty great. But that is not really how I do things, because I also want to contribute to the overall life experience of the people who are in my world. And can you talk a little bit about some of the things we do as a team or as a company, including our health challenges and things, and how that actually has changed a few things in your family?
Yeah, so literally Heather has helped me change my whole life in so many different aspects, you know, including literally with sleep. When my husband was home from the very beginning, I'd be going to sleep like at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'd be all groggy the next day, you know, because I wasn't getting sleep, you know, I wasn't being there fully for my kids. I was always hoping to do things, but just never, I guess, you know, taking accountability on how to do things. So literally with all these health challenges that we do at work, you know, it's like, okay, so what is your goal? You know, we do personal goals, we do health goals, we do work goals, we do all kinds of things, everything around, you know. So she's not only helping, like she said, financially, it's literally helped my whole family, it's helped myself, it's helped everything all around tremendously.
Can you talk about a couple of the new habits that you guys took on?
Yep, we visit a lot of parks, we go on a lot of hikes with the kids and stuff. We travel. That's been something that's, you know, that I've always wanted to do with my kids. I was raised traveling with my parents and everything, you know, so that's something that they're getting to do as well too, you know. Slowly, but we're dipping our feet into traveling, eating healthier, all great stuff. Reading books, something I never did before.
Yeah.
Reading books, you know, empowering my mind, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and like Daisy said, when we do a quarterly or whatever health challenge, I do get input from the agents and others who work for me to say, hey guys, let's design this together. I may have given, you know, the idea or two for the first 1 or 2 that we did, but it's group accountability. It's that thing humans do well. It's why I love to go to an in-person exercise class, and why my whatever bike Peloton thing in my basement is left untouched. You know, I just am more personally, I will perform better if I'm around a group of people. And so I acknowledge that is also what my agents will do and what other people in my world will do. So Daisy really took it on. I will say in all of this, one of the important things is to have a willing participant, to have someone who has incredible possibility inside of them. When you are someone who gets the opportunity to mentor someone, if you can see that person might really take to it and that they have the potential to go on and, you know, not necessarily do great things, but even just have an improvement in their own imagination of themselves, I think that is a huge part of it. So how has mentorship impacted your life regarding your personal confidence?
My personal confidence. Well, I'm here. I'm speaking in groups and in places I never thought I would ever do.
And maybe is not wildly in love with the idea of speaking in front of people, so we may have already practiced a couple times. This is not the first time I've had you speak in front of a group.
No.
No. But each time she's stretching herself. And there's something several of my coaches like to say all the time, which is that the goals you seek are on the other side of your discomfort.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not like the most You have to go through that thing. If you do not go through the discomfort, you will not get the reward.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you can do that, great, amazing things are open to you. And another one is that all goals are fed by consistent attention. Where attention is paid, goals get made. Where attention is paid, goals get made. You literally can bring yourself up to any incredible task if you will put your attention in that direction and just go for it. Learn the thing, do the thing, be consistent, don't give up. If you stop, start again, start again, start again. How many people go, oh, I'm gonna diet or whatever, I'm gonna change something about myself, and then they're super powered about it, it's amazing, maybe it's January and they're going for it, and then by January 30 or 31 or whatever, it's done, right? Well, if you stop, start again. If you have a powerful goal, if you have anything you're up to in life, why is it that your brain, as soon as that's interrupted, goes, well, that's over. I'm done. I don't get to do that thing anymore. It's done. Well, maybe next January when I'll try it again. No. If you stop, start again. Don't be perfectionistic about your journey on your goals. You know, most people are failing constantly, who are getting and achieving and having amazing, unimaginable things. If you look at any great sports person, any amazing actor, any concert pianist, whatever, you name it, they failed and they failed and they failed and they failed and they failed. But the difference is that they failed forward and they kept going. And that is powerful. So if you stop, start again, don't give up, and keep going. Have an accountability partner, have a mentor, have someone. So Daisy, I wanted to ask, what would you tell women in the audience who are looking for a mentor?
I would say definitely look for somebody who respects you and respects your vision, but also pushes you as well. Yeah, somebody who is wholeheartedly and really wants what you want for yourself, but helps you get there.
Yeah, and pushing is the uncomfortable part, right?
Yeah.
A good mentee understands if you're gonna hire a coach, if you're gonna seek a coach, don't go so easy on yourself. Make sure you're choosing an accountability partner who's gonna kind of nudge you when you don't want to be nudged, who's gonna see something that you don't yet see in yourself, or who's gonna at least be the person that helps hold that vision for you, so that as you are being mentored, you know they're gonna bring you up, they're gonna call you on whatever, goofing off you're doing, and they're literally going to have that accountability space for you, so that you yourself can be the very best person to be mentored. And so, what would you tell women who are considering becoming mentors themselves? So, yeah, she's right. She goes, that's you, Heather.
That one was
She practiced more than I did. I love it. I still have the brain that flew into PDX at 11:30 last night. As I said earlier, I'm old. So, here's the thing. I think if you're looking to mentor people, I gave you a lot of my good tips on that. But be willing to be the person holding the vision for another person. And I think one of the things you have to really know, and which my mom taught me from an early age, is that being a mentor, being an advocate for anything ever, when the people in front of you aren't seeing it for themselves, takes real bravery. It also takes another thing, and that's intense amounts of generosity. Do you know that generosity is the thing that gets me through hard conversations with people who are failing in my organization? It's generosity. Because otherwise I'm staring in the face of someone who may not believe in themselves in the moment and may think I'm just flat crazy. In order to get out of my own head, and in order to be able to continue to believe in what I'm saying, I actually just have to be generous. I have to care more about giving to another person than I do about looking like a fool. That's huge. That's actually what will put you on stage. And that, in fact, is a lot of how Daisy has served people. Because she can't always know every answer at every second all the time. but her desire to help people will go beyond her own self-imposed limitations and mental talk that will stop her from moving forward or doing something. So there's one thing I wanted to, actually just two things to share with you guys really quickly. I was gonna take it off, but it's probably gonna be too difficult. But basically there's a ring on my finger right now. Actually, I'm gonna get it off. This is something I had mentioned before briefly, that my mother was battling with Alzheimer's. She had a 7-year battle, and for me to take the most powerful, incredible, brilliant woman I've ever met and watch her go through that was very difficult. And those of you who have family members or have seen people go through it, you know what I'm speaking about. And 3 years ago, my mom passed, and Daisy knew, and like I said, we've been together 4 years. And so it's like we're married, we're together 4 years. We're actually promised. My husband's in front of me filming. But I'm a very handsome videographer. Apologies for videographer. I have this ring, and what happened is in April of this year, when I had done a long post honoring my mom and who she was for me, for my life, for others who knew her, literally everyone in her world. And I think it was the next day I found a box on my desk with a beautiful card, and I wish I had the wherewithal to bring the card, but it's a diamond ring from Daisy, and she gave a card to me, and it's probably good I didn't bring it because I would cry, but basically it talked about thanking me and honoring the passing of a woman so great to me, because she said, I recognize that I thank you that your mom existed so that she could mentor to you, so that you could mentor to me. So for you guys, I have a couple things that have been handed out to you because I wanted to make a contribution. So you have a thought piece, because I think if we learn in a conference like this, I just spent 2 days in a training conference for me as well. One of the things is that before you leave today, or before you even go back to your life on the weekend or after the weekend, that you put some thoughts on the page, because it's in the quiet moments where you have of your own that the wisdom inside of you is going to be able to help you, guide you on what's next. So I gave you some thought-provoking questions about discovering your why, identifying your own goals and desires, and finding out what you personally need in a mentor and envisioning your future. I can tell you, one of my life coaches says, all the wisdom you need is inside of you. So how do I run 3 or 4 businesses and whatever I'm up to, is I get up early in the morning, I go straight to my sofa, I get a cup of tea, and I've got a journal there, and I've got books that I want to learn on. And before anything else can, take away my mind share for that day, customers, anything that is needed, I'm sitting there journaling, and that is where the wisdom comes out. So find your quiet corner, take these with you, and be able to give yourself an opportunity to go through this. And then if we have the last slide, Sam can play that for you. But basically, there are several QR codes, and this is also something that's been handed out to you. I do offer business coaching for people who have businesses. I've been in sales and marketing for almost 40 years, and my job used to be actually being someone that would help businesses figure out how they can be effective in the world. And then we do offer also team coaching. So that's if you have a team of your own, or you would like to be coached on that. Real estate career information, if real estate has ever been something that piques your interest, I can teach you about that. And then obviously Daisy can help you to buy, sell, become an investor. And there's just one last thing I wanted you to share, and that is, what was the thing you were able to purchase this year for your family?
We have a home. Thankfully to all the guidance and everything that Heather has, poured into me. Just literally a month and a half ago, we were able to purchase a home. Wow. So, we are one, and then, you know, in a couple of years or so, I look to do the same thing and purchase another one in a couple of years.
And she only has to look to herself for guidance on that, because she's the